Cool. Hi, everyone. Welcome to another webinar with Greg Verhoef, Chartered Accountant. We are, just setting everything up here. So this is our Ramping Up Your Business with Xero webinar, which is a great introduction to Xero for anyone who is starting their own little business or looking to get some accounting software on board or looking to make the switch to Xero. This is software that we use with all of our clients, and we highly recommend to everyone, and we love using it. So down the bottom of your Zoom webinar there, you'll see all the options for the video tonight. So down the bottom, you've got the Q&A there. So if you have any questions throughout this webinar, just hit that Q&A button and you can fire in a question and we'll answer them all at the end. So just if you think of anything throughout it, just chuck it in there and we'll answer it all at the end of the webinar. Otherwise, I'll pass over here to Greg Verhoef, who is our primary here at Greg Verhoef Chartered Accountant, and he knows a lot about Xero, so he's going to talk you guys through the webinar today.
Okay, thank you for that fantastic introduction there, Shana. And yeah, this is I'm not sure what number we're up to. We've done a whole series of different webinars now, and if you are viewing this online, please jump on and have a look at our other ones, and there's lots of really useful content in there. So anyway, we are here today, maybe 35, 45 minutes. We'll push through this in reasonable time. It's a lovely wee webinar. Some great stuff here for people starting out, and it always, it's really good to do things right the first time rather than to learn by trial and error. And I think some really good tips in here for those people that are either just starting out or people are on other systems and finding them they're not quite so useful. So just a wee bit of background about me. I've been a chartered accountant for 20 plus years. Worked in that small business sector the whole time, had access to various different software applications. When I set up my own practice about 3 years ago, I made the call that we are going to be a Xero practice. So we use Xero with all our clients, and we get efficiencies out of that because it means that we know it really well. We're able to offer expertise and training to our clients, and we pretty much keep on top of all the changes that Xero has as they happen. And it's really good to be able to be sort of experts in one field rather than generalists in a whole lots of fields. So that's where we are, and we'll kick on. All right, so a couple of wee facts here. So small businesses fail quite often, and there's lots of reasons for that. And we could do a whole webinar discussion on why that happens too. But the stat that I'm highlighting here is that 50% of small businesses fail within the first 5 years. Sometimes they start off with a hiss and a roar, they go really well for the first 18 months, then the crunch happens and things become tight, and then within 5 years they fall over. And it's really unfortunate, and it's quite sad seeing people end up in that sort of situation. Most of them fail because of shortage of cash, running out of cash, poor cash flow. They've started off with either not enough equity, or they had a business model that just didn't get to being cash flow positive quick enough before they ran out of cash and ran out of ability to keep it going. Now, a great wee stat here, and yes, Xero is, of course, quite good at collecting lots of business data because they have lots of business clients. But out of the clients that are using Xero, who work with a certified advisor, so we're a certified advisor in practice, 85% of them are still in business after 5 years. So there's your first thing to making sure your business succeeds, is to make sure you've got support of a Xero certified advisor practice like ourselves. All right. Xero's purpose, to make life better for small businesses, their advisors, communities around the world. And Xero is, I'm not sure how long it's been going, but it really is a New Zealand success story. It was set up by two guys in Wellington. One had a bit of fun, bit of funds. He'd been involved in some tech industry and had a bit of money. The other guy was a local chartered accountant, and they got sick and tired of sending data files back and forth between each other and updating stuff and losing track of who had the live file and overwriting the wrong file with the right file, all those sorts of things. And just, why don't we store the data in the cloud and both access at the same time? And that was where Xero came from. It grew into a New Zealand company, it moved on to the New Zealand Stock Exchange, it listed on the Australian Exchange, it's now on the American Stock Exchange, and it's one of the growing software small business accounting packages around the world now. They have really done well. So Xero's purpose, they're achieving their purpose. My purpose, work alongside my clients to help them achieve their goals and make better business decisions. And that's what it's all about. We like to try and figure out where our clients are going, what it is they want to achieve, and how it is that we can work alongside them to achieve that. Okay, the 3 freedoms. So most people in business went into business for a reason, and often those reasons fit into one of these 3 things. They wanted some financial freedom. They wanted to make enough money to not have to think about how they were going to pay the next bill, that they've got financial freedom. Time freedom, that they wanted to have more time and get that work-life balance right so that they had more time for themselves, less time working. And mind freedom is relief from stress, the idea that everything is in its place, is ticking along as it should, and business is operating well. So we go into business to achieve these 3 things, or one of these 3 things, and often we find that all 3 of them are bloody hard to achieve. That doesn't mean we shouldn't go into business, but it means we need to focus on what it is we're trying to achieve and set aside our strategies to achieve them and our goals, and break that down to a list of targets to achieve. Right. The agenda today, 4 or 5 main topics we're going to work through here. First few slides is about saving time and how Xero can help you do that. We're then looking at cash flow and how we can get paid faster, because we pointed out cash flow is one of those key things starting off a business, and getting those steps in place right at the beginning is quite key. Quick look at the Xero plans. There's some different options for Xero, how you might work with us or how we might work with you, and what sort of steps we can do into the future. We're going to talk a bit about Annie. So this is Annie, and we're going to have a look and see how Xero can help her with her business, just as a bit of a case study. It gives us a point of context which to talk about. So Annie is a plumber, has her own business. She employs 4 other plumbers, and she has 2 young children. She still works on the tools the majority of the time, and in the evenings she does her quotes and her paperwork. Generally starts her day at 7 o'clock in the morning, gets the guys busy, or the team busy, I shouldn't say guys, gets the team busy, and knocks off around 4 o'clock before going home, some family time, and then in the evening spending 2-3 hours a night doing up her bills, tracking her work in progress, preparing invoices, doing bank reconciliations, following up, chasing late payers, and the payroll. So yes, 5 to 10 hours a week on doing that paperwork. She's never quite sure how much money is in the bank. She's not quite sure how much she's going to have to pay the bills, or what the next month looks like as far as projected cash flow. So we're going to talk about some of the features that Xero has and how they might help someone like in Annie's shoes. First one, reconciling. So when we talk about reconciling, what we're really referring to here is, so all your transactions for your business eventually sort of go through the bank. Your customers pay you, you pay your bills, you pay your wages, you pay your finance charges, all those things go through the bank. And all those transactions have to be recorded in the accounting system as to what they are. So when you pay your wages, you would put in that it's for wages and the date, and then the system knows that it is wages. So when you print reports like profit and loss reports, that puts that total into your wages total, or accumulates those totals into your wages total. So reconciling is sort of a key to any accounting system. Different systems call it different things. It might be called coding or analyzing or reconciling. And Xero is really good with this because they have adopted machine learning quite early. And it was right back in the beginning of Xero, in that when you have a transaction comes through the bank and you tell Xero what it is, the next time that same transaction comes through with the same reference details, it will automatically say, hey, is this the same thing? And then if it is, you just need to click OK. Saves a whole lot of time having to re-enter the date and who it was and what it's for. It's just OK. And as you go on, it learns more and more, and you sort of eventually get to the point where you're going down all the bank transactions going, OK. Oh, no, that's wrong. I'll correct that one. OK. Oh, no, that's actually a bill. I'll match that. So it automatically learns. It auto matches. So if you have sent an invoice out to a customer for $365.15 and an amount comes in that matches that invoice, Xero will go, hey, is this customer paying this bill? And if it is, you click OK, and it'll mark that invoice as having been paid, so you know not to chase that customer for any further money. The same with bills to pay. If you have a bill from the stationery business, stationery warehouse, say, for $365, and you have a payment that goes through at $365, Xero will again match it to the bill to pay, and if it's correct, you just go OK. So speeds up that process. There are a couple other wee features which are really cool. So what we see, or used to see, it's not so bad now, is that businesses quite often have multiple bank accounts. And they might have a savings account, and they'll have a GST account, and a tax account, and a holiday pay account. And the business owner moves money between those accounts to make sure they've got some reserves set aside for when those things come through. Good strategy, works for some people. You've got to stay on top of it, of course. But when you move money between accounts, you have money coming out of one account and going into another account. And what we would see quite often is that the clients would code those or reconcile those to different things, and now it doesn't balance because the transfer doesn't match the in and out. So Xero's actually got really better at now auto matching those. So where it sees the money coming out of one, it goes, hey, this matches a deposit with that one, and it learns from that. So that saves us a lot of head scratching trying to figure out, well, things are out of balance. And then there's the final one is the bank rules. So if the auto matching is not working correctly, or if the transaction needs to be split into several different things, you can create a bank rule. And we use these most often for things like finance payments to finance companies, and we will do a split where it splits the principal, or the portion that comes off the loan to the finance company, and the portion that is interest. Now, of course, every month the interest and principal do change, but over a year on average, they are sort of we work out an average for the year. So at the end of the year, it's about right. And that way, when we're looking at our profit and loss reports or our cash flow reports, we're getting better reports, and we're actually seeing the interest cost for business, and we're seeing the balance owing to the finance company ticking down on our balance sheet the way it should. All right, saves time reconciling. What's next? Okay, invoicing, online invoicing, real simple to generate an invoice in Xero. You can create the invoice, you can create items. So it says you have to type everything in each time. You just select the item and how many of them you want to invoice out. You can pick up previous invoices from a customer and just copy it to a new invoice. You can pick up an invoice from a different customer and copy that to a different invoice. So you can quite quickly send out invoices. You can set up repeating invoices. So this is where you have a regular amount that you send your customer every month, and the system will automatically either just create a draft for you to check and send, or it will automatically just send it out on the first day of the month. So definitely some things there that can speed up your invoicing. There was, what else I talk about? E-invoicing, reminders, automatic reminders. So a great wee feature in Xero, you can create a set of rules whereby after a certain number of days that an invoice hasn't been paid, it'll automatically ping out an email to that customer. So that way they get a wee reminder that, hey, this bill was meant to be paid and you haven't paid it. please send us the money. And you can set up different rules. So after 20 days it does this, and after 25 it does that. And you can make your wee emails get slightly more and more grumpy as they go down the track. The only thing is, what you want to do is just make sure you are reconciling daily, because if someone has paid you and you didn't match it off, then the system will go, hey, it has been paid, and send out that reminder. Online payment of invoices. So you can, there are various, a couple of different systems you can set up so that clients can just click the button, enter their credit card number, and pay you online. It just makes that process a whole lot quicker. And if people are encouraged to pay when they receive their invoice, then they won't forget about it. And a lot of people do just want to pay it on receipt. So if you make it easy for them to pay, then they are more likely to pay you straight away. And if it means that you don't have to go away to a different system, to their online banking, to create a bill payment, then there's less chance of them putting the wrong account number, or putting the wrong date in, or putting the wrong amount in. If they're just clicking a button and entering their credit card, and it comes through, makes that nice and easy. I did also want to mention here, although it's not on the slide, is that we have e-invoicing coming along. This is a protocol whereby industry protocol for sending and receiving electronic invoices. Easiest way to think about it, being promoted quite heavily by the government now. It's been adopted in multiple countries around the world. And what this means is that different systems will be able to send and receive invoices system to system without someone having to manually key them in. It'll have all the data from the invoice in there, or images of the invoice, everything else in there. And it just makes it easier for invoices to go from one system to the next. Now, Xero has already kept up for this. They've got it built in. You can turn it on at any time, so you can start sending out e-invoices to your customers. And the government departments are meant to be, in the next few months, I think, prioritising anyone who sends them an invoice, that their turnaround time on that would be 2 weeks. So that's an incentive if you're billing the government to get paid earlier. All right, I think that's covered off all the bits under there. Hubdock. So Hubdock is a document filing system. It was developed by a different outfit, I suppose, and Xero liked it so much it actually purchased Hubdock. And I think why they purchased it was that they wanted the back-end engine stuff, that some of it they had working in there, and wanted to incorporate some of that into Xero. But anyway, Hubdock is available to anyone who has the full package of Xero. And what it does is you get your suppliers to send invoices to your Hubdock account. It pops up in Hubdock. It automatically tries to pick out the details out of the invoice, such as the date, the amount, the supplier, that core data. And then you can approve it, and it sends it into Xero and sits in the bills to pay in Xero. So it also allows you to send a copy into Dropbox, or send copies of invoices into other folders. So it's quite good for creating effectively a backup system. It's also quite good for being able to search. When you approve an invoice, it files it then by supplier. And if you want to go and have a look at all your Spark accounts, you go to Spark and it'll show you all the invoices from Spark listed down. Makes it easy to find and search, probably a little bit better than Xero, I guess. So yeah, Hubdock's there, good wee system. You can, however, send PDF invoices straight into Xero, and it will do the same thing and recognise that, use the character recognition to pull out the main data to create a draft invoice in Xero. So 2 options available, slightly different features in each. Outsourcing, yeah, well, this is where we come in to help. You know, if you do something all the time and you specialize in that service or product, you tend to find the shortcuts. You find out how to do things quickly. You become very proficient in it, and your accuracy gets better. And that's where we like to think as accountants we're quite good at that business, you know, business support, business, the numbers side of things. So for a number of our clients, we manage their payroll for them. For some of them, we collect all their bills to pay and set up a system for approving those before sending off the batch payment to the bank. We can do invoicing out to customers providing you've got to provide us with the data to be invoiced out, of course. We can do the bank reconciliations, we can do the GSTs, we can do the accounting work behind the scenes. So there's a lot of stuff that we can do for our clients that moves some of those time-consuming bits on their part across to us. And while you might spend a couple of hours at home working your way through a payroll, it's the sort of thing where maybe we can do it sort of half an hour or 20 odd minutes because it's just something we eat for breakfast and do it in, day out. The team here keep on top of the payroll changes. We know how to manage things. So yeah, there's some efficiencies, and although we might charge a bit more, if you think about your time, the time it takes you versus what it might cost to pay us to do something, quite often that's quite economic to do. And it means that you're able to focus on doing what you're good at, running your business, getting the sales on the door, making sure your team is busy delivering your services, generating income, and managing your business rather than worrying about the detail of, gee, have I got this expense allowance reimbursement correct, and should it be taxed or non-taxed, and all those sorts of things. Anyway, so we can help with those things. If you would like us to do a price or an appraisal for some outsourced service, just get in touch. That's lovely. We love doing that sort of stuff. Right, coming back to Annie. Remember, this is our plumbing business. And so using some of those features that we just talked about, the Xero Reconciling becomes mainly automated. It's a click, click, click. Okay, okay, okay. Oh, that's an exception. I better fix that one. The online invoicing means that she can create quotes in Xero, send the quotes directly to the customer. The customer can accept them online, and they come back to Xero as being accepted. You can then do the job, and when the job's done, you turn that quote into an invoice and email it back out. Easy as. Hubdock, being able to file your bills to pay in a nice logical system, saves time trying to find bills, makes things a bit easier. Right, so good for Ian so far. Cash is king. So getting cash in the door really is important, and I encourage as many of my clients to get some cash up front. When we talk about cash, I'm not talking about folding money anymore. I'm just meaning like the money in your bank. Cash is becoming almost an obsolete thing. But cash is king. And if you're a tradesman doing a job, it's quite okay to ask for a deposit up front. If you're working on domestic homes or houses, people should be able to pay you before they take on the task of whatever it is they're getting you to do. So don't be afraid to ask for a bit of a deposit up front. But the problem is we do work. We pay our employees, we send the bill out, and then the customer might take another month to pay us. In the meantime, we've had to pay all the costs. We're paying for the materials, we're paying for the wages, we're paying for administration overheads, and all that cash is being sucked out of our business, and hopefully we get paid by the customer down the track. So on average, this is back in October 21, I think is where the stat came from. On average, it was 24.2 days to be paid. Anything you can do to speed up that process is good for your business. So, and I did mention this before, online payments. I did think we were going to mention it later on. So online payments, so there are payment services in Xero, and you can turn them on. There is online training about how to use them, how to set them up, and you create accounts in Xero for the money to come through. Allows people to pay by PayPal, by credit cards, and go cardless is an option to set up direct debits. You have to, the client has to sign up and agree to it beforehand, but if the processes are all there, quite simple to follow through. Make it easy for your customers to pay, they'll pay you quicker, and the money in your bank is better cash flow. Invoice reminders. So we can set up these rules to automatically email out our clients, remind them about their invoices, and sometimes people just forget, and they get a nice wee email reminder, and it's got a copy of their invoice attached, and it's got a pay now button, and it's, oh, that's easy, pay now, enter my details, credit card number, paying, done. Anything to make it easy is good. Right, in Xero, there is also a nice wee cash flow projection forecast. And what it does is it takes the data it has, it takes the balance it's known about, it takes the invoices that you've sent out and when the expected date for payment on those is, and it takes the bills that you've set up for payment and puts those in, and looks at regular bills that you pay and makes an allowance for that. So it gives you this sort of projection of where your cash flow should look over the next month. So it's quite handy, and you can sort of look and go, okay, so there should be enough money coming in on the 20th, so that on the 20th I can pay my bills, or no, heck, no, there's not enough coming in. I need to find some short-term borrowings, or I need to chase up those overdue payers that haven't paid me yet, so there's enough cash coming in into the system. Nice graphical presentation, easy to see, simple as, and very handy. So Annie, using those options, can use the online payments, makes people pay her quicker, invoice reminders to help chase her slow debtors. She doesn't need to even chase them, the system just chases them for her. And then the short-term cash flow projection to help her better see how things are going. So you can see how Xero helps just support in so many different ways in your business, makes life easier. You focus on your business, let us worry about the accounting side of it, and let Xero do the automated stuff as it can do that. And I guess that's the thing about Xero, was it started from nothing and it developed really quickly, and they continue to every couple of months add on more features and more features and more features. And I think that's probably its standout achievement over and above other accounting packages out there, which have tended to be very slow with their development. And Xero has moved fast and will continue. I'm sure it's built into the way they've designed their company is to adapt and change quickly, add features. And that's one of the reasons why we like Xero, is because it's typically on the game or ahead of the game as far as accounting systems go. All right, Xero plans. 3 different packages that you can sign up with Xero. There is also for clients who come through us, we have access to some smaller plans. So, very small businesses, rentals, hobby type businesses, I shouldn't say that, where, also where you might have a business that uses a Xero plan and you need a family trust done, we can use a cheaper version for those simple non-trading type entities. But for your trading businesses, we've basically got 3 packages there. I'll start at the top. So the premium one is really for people who have got foreign currency, and it's $78 a month. I might mention there that with our clients, we get a 20% discount, and we pass that discount on. We don't keep it. So that comes $62 a month for the premium one. And if you're doing foreign currency, there's a lot of work in doing that currency conversion on every transaction and doing the foreign exchange gain or loss on any balances held in foreign currencies. And I'm talking a lot of time on our part to manually work that out. And for the extra 10 or 15 bucks a month, I tell my clients they've just got to use the premium version, because otherwise you're going to pay us hundreds of dollars a month for us to manually work that out. Standard is our standard Xero plan. It has all the key components to it. Invoices, bills, bank reconciliations, all the stuff we've talked about is in your standard system. $62 is the full price. We do it for $50 plus GST for our clients. And then the starter version is for businesses starting out or small businesses that only do up to 20 invoices a month or about 5 bills. Quite handy, and it's about $29 a month or $24 for our clients. Good way to start. You're just sort of starting out, getting the hang of things. And then once the business grows a bit, it's just a flick of a switch, and we can change it to standard, and it opens up being a full version. Xero add-ons. So Xero has developed a number of in-house packages that add on to Xero. So you do pay a wee bit extra for these, but they help fill out their software, and it's nice that they all seamlessly integrate and work together. So the first one is Xero Payroll. Payroll system, like any other payroll system, tracks your staff. You put in their hours, or the staff can enter their hours on the payroll app, calculates their pay, does any deductions, KiwiSaver, all that sort of standard payroll stuff, works out the amount you need to pay them, and then files the ID data automatically with the ID. Nice wee system. Make sure if you're going to use it, you do the training. It's like anything. If you don't know how to set it up and make it work properly, you can end up in a big mess real fast. And we've got in-house expertise to help with that, or to actually just run the payroll for you in-house. Xero projects. So for tracking jobs, and I'm talking about relatively straightforward jobs. So time materials on jobs. You can create a job, you can create a budget for a job, or you expect to spend on it. You can turn that into a quote that you send to the customer accepts. You then do the job, and every time you buy something or pay wages, you track those costs back to the job. And at the end, you can invoice the customer and then run reports to see how profitable each job was. It is simple jobs. It works fine for straightforward stuff. It's not a full-on jobbing package that does product integration and splitting of products and all that sort of stuff that you get with a more full package. But for small business, it's quite usable and quite clever. Xero expenses, just a little add-on app so that you or your staff can photograph receipts. It analyzes the receipt, then pops up, might be a wee bit later, and goes try to pull out the name, the details, and amount, and you can okay it or not. And then either the receipt can either be reimbursed to the employee, or if it's the owner, it can just be recorded as an expense that they've paid from their own pocket, or an expense they've paid from the business that's going to come through the bank or the credit card somewhere in the future. It can also be used for tracking mileage and doing mileage claims, reimbursing staff for mileage. So again, just lots of little add-ons. Nice wee package. I've used it a bit, and it does just keeps all that boxes of receipts and stuff for a thing of the past, because we can just take photos with our cameras and upload them into the expense claims, and it keeps it in the system nice and tidy for us. So Annie, our plumbing business, she might use the Xero Payroll, and because it integrates with Xero, it's nice. It's all in one system. And she might use the Xero projects to track her jobs and track her profitability on jobs. Back costing or profitability tracking used to be something that took a lot of time, and therefore a lot of small tradies didn't do it. But it is a really good experience thing to do. I know it takes time to do it, like you need to invest in the time, but you need to know which jobs make money and which jobs don't make money, so that we learn to, next time we come to quoting a job that's like that, we either tag it as this is an estimate and it's on time materials because, hey, it's too many variables in here to give you a quote, or we should have quoted higher last time because things just cost more than we thought. And it's that learning experience you get from the feedback of the numbers coming back through your projects to be able to go, hey, we made money on that, that's good. We lost money, why did we lose money? Let's ask questions. Let's not do that again, so that our business improves all the time. All right, at Marketplace, or not, here we are. Right back when Xero was first built, they created a gateway, a secure gateway. It's sort of an encrypted gateway. I don't understand the security side of it, things, but it allows other applications to talk to Xero, so they can share data across the platform. And there's now over 1,000 different apps that you can bolt onto the side of Xero that do different things. And these can be apps that are task specific. So there is point of sale systems, there's stock management systems, CRM systems, practice management. We talked about the job tracking. You can get far more comprehensive jobbing systems that will bolt onto Xero. They do cost extra, but the facility is there to minimize data entry by sharing the data backwards and forwards. The other thing they can be is they can be task industry specific. So there are things for hair salons, there are things there for the wine industry, there's things there for retail that are specific for those particular industries. So lots of cool stuff in there. You jump on that Marketplace, there's a website with them all on it, and there are literally hundreds of thousands of them on there, and half the job is trying to figure out which one's going to be best for your business. And that's another whole gambit on its own, sort of consulting as to how those things link up. Anyway. Right, how can we work with you and your business? So for any new client looking at coming on board, hey, there's always that complimentary cup of coffee. I'll shout you a coffee or a beer. Let's have a chat. Let's see where you are in your planning stages, what services we can offer, how we can help your business, and what our charges might be. It gives you an opportunity for you to figure out if you want to engage us and see where we go from there. The 3 freedoms we talked about right back at the beginning. I've got a wee worksheet for helping to try and figure out which of those freedoms you're chasing and which ones are more important. If you would like a copy of that worksheet, hit me up, I'll email it through. It's yours free of charge. We talked about the Xero plans. We get 20% discount, volume discount on Xero, and we offer that discount back to our clients. So yeah, it's not a big amount of money, but hey, every $10 counts, eh? So we'd rather you spend $10 on us helping you with your business and save $10 on your Xero plan. And Xero setup and training. I mean, we eat Xero for breakfast. We love it. Every day we're in it. We're doing all the training courses as they come along, keeping up to date with all the advances and what's going on. So we're well positioned to help you learn how to use it and show you some of the neat features that are in it. Right, so where does that leave Annie? Well, hopefully she's sped up her cash flow and got some more money in the bank. She has reduced her 10 hours a week of administration down to maybe an hour a night, so maybe 5 hours a week. So she's got an extra 5 hours with her family and friends, and she's got a better handle on where the business is going. She's got better numbers to make decisions about, and she's got nice forecasts that can give her foresight into the future about where things are going. Now, if you know what's happening, that means reduced stress, because you know, the fear of the unknown is a greater fear than the fear of actually knowing where things are going. So hopefully we've helped Annie with all sorts of Xero add-ons, and she's feeling a lot more better about her business. All right, we're just on under 40 minutes. That was a reasonably quick run through. I don't know if we've got any questions coming through there, Shannon.
No, we haven't had any questions come through, so you've obviously done a good job of explaining things, so I think we'll just carry on.
I've gone just too fast. Anyway, if you've got any questions, hit us up. You'll find our website somewhere. Give me a phone call. We love helping small businesses, and this is what we do. So yes, let us know. And that's us all done. So hopefully it's nice and sunny wherever you are at the moment. You can go and enjoy the rest of your day. It's a beautiful blue sky day here in Dunedin today, and I'm heading off now to go and enjoy a bit of that. So thank you for attending. Hope you got something out of it, and we will do something else again next month.
Fantastic.